Welcome back to the Sports News Analysis YouTube channel. My name is Mike. I'm continuing my 2014 free agent rankings, and this is for who I see as the top 10 cornerbacks available in the 2014 class. A very talented group. If you go through my other positional rankings, some positions a little lighter here in free agency, but corners, if you're a team that needs corners, you think you're a team that's an area of need for you, you're going to get it from this list. I mean, a lot of guys entering or in the prime of their career and good players. And just look at the guy I have at number 10 in Charles Tillman. Obviously last year of the Chicago Bears. He's going to be 30 years old when the season starts next year. He's coming off some injury concerns the last couple of years, but he's the most accomplished guy career-wise on this list, and he comes in at number 10. Certainly, I think, worth a flyer from a team looking to add a second cornerback later in free agency, sort of similar to how the Dolphins took a chance on Brent Grimes, and look how that turned out. And he was over 30 years old last year as well. So Peanut Tillman comes in at number 10. And at number 9, I have DeAngelo Hall, obviously most recently of the Washington Redskins. Hall's a guy who will also be 30 when the season starts next year. He at times showed glimpses this year. I thought overall he wasn't that bad. But I don't know if it was a case of him not being that bad or him just being surrounded by, the awful defense that he was in Washington. I think he's a guy who will definitely garner some attention because of, again, how proven he is in the league. But DeAngelo Hall at number 9. Number 8, I have Tarell Brown, last year of the 49ers. Tarell Brown has been an important part of that defense here since Jim Harbaugh has come on board. I think what you saw, though, is when he did get hurt, and Tremaine Brock came in and played very well, I think you sort of saw Brock, elevate ahead of him on the depth chart. So I don't think he'll be back with San Francisco most likely, but I think he'll get a deal from someone. Tarell Brown in at number 8. Number 7, I have Chris Harris. Chris Harris is the only guy on this list that's a restricted free agent. He is 25 years of age. It'll be interesting to see the tender the Broncos place on Harris, who got injured during their playoff run here, but is a very crucial part to that defense. He was excellent along with Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie this year in that secondary. Again, he's only 25 years old, so if the Broncos don't put a large enough tender on him, he will get scooped up. The only restricted free agent on the list, Chris Harris, the cornerback of the Denver Broncos. Number 6, I have Alterraun Verner, and at the beginning of the year, if you would have said Verner would have been in the top 6 of this list, you probably would have thought I was crazy, but he's coming off of a Pro Bowl season, a season for which the first 8, 9, 10 games, you could argue he was one of the best cornerbacks in the entire NFL. Again, he's on the younger side, and he's a guy that, if the Titans, again, don't get it done and re-sign him, he's a guy that's going to be in large demand, I feel, throughout the league. But I expect the Titans, who do have some cap flexibility, to make sure they get a deal done with Verner. Number 5, I have Captain Munnerlyn, last year who played for the Carolina Panthers. Again, a guy who in 2012 really struggled, but a guy in 2013 who really burst on the scene. And the difference in that Carolina defense to me was the play of that secondary. All right, and them coming to the forefront really helped that front 7, who's been steady here for a while, and the leader of that secondary, all right, along with Mike Mitchell, to me, was Captain Munnerlyn. So you have Captain Munnerlyn at number 5. At number 4, I have Aqib Talib of the Patriots. Talib is a guy that raw ability-wise, he's probably in the top 2 or 3. But my concern with him is if he gets the big money, what does he revert back to attitude-wise? And I think the Patriots have gotten a lot out of him the last couple of years because he's essentially been on year-to-year deals where he's had to prove himself. We'll see how things unfold here, but you can't doubt Talib's talent here at number 4. Number 3, I have Sam Shields, who last year obviously played with the Green Bay Packers. He's only going to be 26 years old, and he's going to be a priority for the Packers because they're thin in the secondary anyway in terms of cover guys. And Shields is an excellent player. He had an excellent 2012 and a pretty good 2013 as well. I think he's a guy they have to get back in the fold here. Sam Shields at number 3. And at number 2, I have Brent Grimes. And Brent Grimes was a guy last year, this past season, coming off an ACL injury. The Falcons probably wish they made a little bit more effort to sign him last year. But Grimes goes to the Dolphins on a prove-it contract, a 1-year deal, and does above and beyond proving it, that's for sure. That he did an excellent job this year Again, a noticeable change in that defense in the back end once he got there. And it'll be interesting to see how teams value Grimes. I think with the way he played with Miami last year, they'll probably value him the most. I'd be very surprised if they don't bring the 31-year-old back. And at number 1, I have Vontae Davis. When I looked at this, I thought him and Brent Grimes were basically even this year. And because of the fact that Vontae Davis is only 26 years old, I gave him the nod. And Davis is a guy who the Colts traded for. So I think when you add that to the mix as well, they traded a pretty high pick for Vontae Davis, acquiring him from the Dolphins. So I think they're kind of backed into a corner where they pretty much have to re-sign him. I mean, he's coming off of a couple good seasons, and you traded for the guy. So expect him to get a pretty decent deal from the Colts, who are, again, one of these teams that has north of $30 million in cap space. Guys, that's my top 10 cornerbacks here in the 2014 class. Let me know what you think of my list. Any guys on here you want for your team, hit me up in the comments. Hit me up on Twitter as well. Check out my other positional lists for the top free agents available. Most of them are up now. Thanks a lot for listening. Be sure to subscribe. It's free, and have a great day.